Hi, welcome back to another episode of Time Out with Gabii. With me here is this host of Tickle Show, Tickle Minorah.
Hi, Gabby.
Welcome back to my show.
Welcome to your show.
Right, it's great having you here. I know it's been like a long way. Um, Always wanting to have you here. Like, people don't know you're like the founder of Gabii by Nature. Can you walk us down to how we met?
Yeah, I also am not your founder. You founded yourself.
Honey,
I just
you
gave you a platform.
true, true. I mean, like, I still think if you hadn't talked about it, I wouldn't be a drag performer today.
I
I would
feel,
just be me.
yeah, maybe. um, I think you would have made it happen somehow. You would have been a
True,
performer somehow. It's in you. You can see it
true,
when you're on
yeah.
stage. Anyways, meeting you, we were at Evolution.
I was working.
You were working. You were upstairs at the little cash register. You were talking to me about my show. I was a little drunk. I was like thanking you. I was asking you when you were going to perform. You just gave me my little stamp and let me slide right on in.
Right.
And then later on in the night, I was just like, "You're in my next show. You're in my next show." And you're like, "Okay." And then you're like, "When is it?" I'm like, "I don't know. I don't know anything about it because I had just come off the first one
Yeah,
and I hadn't even
yeah.
started planning." And it was like, yeah. Then it was like 2 months later, 3 months later. And you did your pop up and you ate. You killed that
Right.
performance. Everyone
Thank
loved
you.
you.
I mean, I tried. I know I had it in me, like you said, but then I wasn't sure if I didn't see myself performing on stage doing that.
Yeah,
But thank you for giving me the platform.
of
And that
course.
way, a few people reached out to me saying they wanted to book me, da 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 da, It's been since February. I think it's over 8 months now. I've been doing drag for 8 months.
Was it February?
Yeah.
Was it the third show that you were in? Was it in Tickle 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 or Tickle Me
Yes.
Twice?
Tickle, tickle, tickle.
Okay.
Yeah.
I, they all blend together after I've done them. So I'm just like, I have the posters at home.
And you
Where
have an upcoming one as well.
I do. The fifth coming of Tickle Minorah,
I'm in
five times
it.
a charm.
I'm in it. Am I? So let's talk about your childhood. Let's talk about Little Tickle or Little Patrick. So can you walk us down to your childhood story, your coming out story, what high school was like for you?
Yeah. So I grew up in small town Alberta for a little bit. I was like under five, so I don't remember all of it.
Hmm.
And then I was like, I think five when we moved to the city. And then I lived south side. I lived in Duggan.
Ooh.
Don't go there. There's gangs there. There's illegal prostitution there. There's drugs there. I did
Ooh.
all of this when I was very young, when I shouldn't have. And I lived there with like my four siblings, pardon me, and with Gloria, who's my biological mom. And yeah, I was a weird kid. I would create soap operas with like my Hot Wheels, and I would always
Oh.
like, I had like the mats with them, so I'd always have like the rich family would have here and have like the good cars, and then there'd be like the poor family there.
Kids did a lot of funny things.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And you
Um,
have a queer brother as
I do.
well.
One of my older brothers is queer, so I didn't really have to come out as much
Because like
to
it
my.
was a normal thing, right?
Yeah, well, he struggled with it for a while because my family's very redneck, and
Okay.
it was, yeah, like my mom's family would always be like, "You know how Dallas is. You know how Dallas is." That's my older brother. Went after he came out, and so my brother was just like, or if someone had like a learning disability, you know how they are, and they would make like offhanded comments all the time about like queer people, whatever you name it,
What year was this?
like maybe 2004,
Oh my
2005.
god.
Yeah, and so my brother finally came out uh, because my Gloria hit on his boyfriend who was over for dinner, and Dallas was just like, "This is my friend. This is my friend." I knew, my siblings knew, our dad knew. Gloria did not, and she's like giving him a back rub, and as he washes this, like, "Come over whenever you want. I'll give you anything." So disgusting. So disgusting.
How old was he?
Uh,
Let's not talk about that on my show. That's
no,
his story.
he was probably like 19 or 20
Okay.
because Dallas is 4 years older than me. So he was a like young kid.
Okay.
And my mom was what, like 35-ish? So going after the younger men.
Right.
Yeah. And then yeah, I just
Keeping
didn't
it moist.
keeping it moist. It's so disgusting. Yeah. Oh, that should be my next show name, Keeping It Moist. It's like
Right.
Minorah.
Yeah, keeping
You
it
heard it here
moist.
first.
What was after high school for you? Like, what was next for you after high school?
I moved in with Dallas downtown. We actually moved Boxing Day downtown to our first
Really?
apartment. Yeah. We got in from Christmas with our dad. We packed up all of our shits like that night, drove it down, moved in
From Southside?
from Southside downtown in the middle of winter. It's snowing, it's there, and then
How much was rent back then?
I think we each paid 400.
As a what year was that?
Oh, 05, oh 06, oh 07?
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was cheap. We had a two-bedroom, one bathroom, and I think the most we each paid was 600.
I wish.
And this was right behind the cabin on Jasper
Oh
Ave.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
in a
Now they have like the story building and all this stuff.
it's yeah, it's across the street. It's whatever that boardwalk was called.
Yeah.
The really tall one. They have like a little house beside it. Then it's like that.
And they also have cactus like on the
Yeah,
same.
yeah. So we lived right there. So I would always be going to Buddies and
Oh, where was
Woody's.
Buddy's close to
It
the
used to
bathhouse?
be, yeah, it used to be like
Okay.
right beside it, across from Shoppers. Buddy's was downstairs and Woody's was upstairs.
So there were two gay bars.
Yeah, Woody's was more like a pub. Yeah,
Oh.
you would go there, you could shoot pool. They had like sports on or soap operas for the gays. And then Buddy's was downstairs, and Buddy's was dirty, but I loved it.
A friend of my boss, she said she she went to a gay bar in 19 something, I don't remember the year. And then she was like, she went there with her friends, and then the next thing she remembered was she was waking up at home,
Yeah.
and then she called her friend saying, and then they had like telephones, right? So she called her friend saying, "Oh, I can't find my wallet, I can't find my passport, I can't find anything," and she was, and she was like, they took it from her, so she had to call the bar. And then when she called Buddies was like, "If we find the bag and we call, should we tell your parents who we are?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, it must be
No.
really bad back then."
I would started going to Buddy's when I was like 15. I would take my brother's ID, and Vanity Fair and Binky hosted a Sunday show called like Sunday Starlight Review or Starlight something. And I would go because they're so good on the mic, like their banter back and forth. I don't remember the shows except for what it was called.
Yeah.
But like I was sneaking in there, I was sneaking into the roost. If my brother took his passport, I took the ID. If he took the ID, I'd sneak into his room and take his
Okay.
passport.
And they wouldn't notice what.
Well, because we
And you
look
were tall.
when we're both tall. Like he's
Oh,
6'4", 6'5". He's shorter than me by a little bit.
really?
But
Yeah,
like
you're
they,
6'6".
but they wouldn't scan. They didn't scan. They were just like, oh, that's you. Oh, that's you. Right? They don't have the scan system that they have now. Oh, you're
Yeah,
already in here. They didn't have that then.
yeah.
And then if I knew he was going to one, I would go to the other. So that way, in case like the bouncer did like
Remember?
remember him, I'm like, yeah, no,
Oh
okay.
my god.
Yeah,
It was wild.
I was a wild child. I did lots of things very young that I probably
Oh my
shouldn't have done.
god. That's okay. Like things happen. We all learn from things, right?
Yeah.
And then when was drag for you? I keep hearing of Binky, like even another performer mentioned Binky, but I don't know who they are. So
I, I don't know if Binky performs anymore or if she's even still in Edmonton. I haven't seen or heard from her in years.
But
Uh,
Vanity is still here.
Vanity's still
The queen of
here.
queens.
And then like Ruby Gorgeous was still performing at the time. Tequila Mockingbird.
Yeah, Tequila.
Tequila, yeah. I worked with Tequila at Toys R Us
Oh,
on
really?
Calgary Trail. Yeah, I was like 15 years old. She was my boss. For a hot minute, I got fired. Not
Okay,
from her.
Tequila.
Not from her. Not from her. She didn't
I.
fire me. But I was doing like my homework and like I worked in electronics. I was like highlighting in my like English book while doing homework. Like you can't bring that on. Like no one's here. What do you want me to do?
That's
Just
what she
stand?
said?
Not Tequila. The
Okay.
actual manager. I kept like sneaking in. I'm like I was doing my homework because I had to get it done before
Yeah.
school. So yeah,
And you
like
were making money.
I was
What?
making $7 an hour. I thought I was like the shit. I was
Richard.
like that $7 got me a new polo for Friday night from Lacoste to go out and
Right.
return it the Saturday.
That's what I used to do when I was a student. Like I would go to H&M, go to the stores, buy bulk of clothes, and then I'll remove the tags.
Oh, I kept the tags on because like they would always have them like on the tag in
Honey,
the back.
when I used to go out then I was so wild because I could rip it off.
Okay.
You could get tangled in your hair, anything could happen. And once that tag is not there, that jacket of $150, you're buying it.
So I also had that happen. And then I went to Michael's and I got the retagging gun where you just put in the things and you retag it. It's only like $15. Get ideas for you people if you want to return
Really?
clothes. Yeah. I just did it the other day. I bought this beautiful bomber that I couldn't afford, but I just wanted to wear it once.
Yeah, but I don't do it anymore
I
because
did
like
it.
it's just so right now I think it's petty. Like to
Yeah.
go to the store today, go to the store tomorrow. Because of the time I accidentally put I stained the clothes and then I went to the section and I switched. I was so dumb. I should have. There was no way I could switch the tags at the store, right? So
Yeah.
I switched it. And when I gave them, they were like, "Oh no, this hasn't been purchased yet." And I'm like,
Oh.
"Okay." So since then, I just stopped
Yeah, the last
doing
time I
it.
did it was a couple of years ago. There was this beautiful bomber at Zara,
Oh my god, I'll do it.
but it was like it
Zara.
was like $250, and I couldn't justify it. But I'm like, I just need my photo in this. So
That's what I need it for.
I wore it out one time. I took it, I steamed it, retagged it, and I returned it.
Honey, if I if I wear it, I ain't washing it, I ain't doing nothing. I'm taking it back to the
Yeah,
store for someone who needs it.
yeah. I didn't need that jacket. I just wanted my photo in it, not in the store.
So when was drag for you? When did you realize like, oh, I
Uh,
could dress as a woman?
So I always kind of did drag. As a kid, my brother and I would go through our mom's closet when she wasn't home, and we would do fashion shows. And my oldest brother, he would be like, "I want you to do a look that's like picking up your kids from school." So I just wear
Oh,
like a little like slut boob tube top and like a short skirt and like put on the heels and like come prancing down the
right?
stairs. I was like, it's a fashion show
Picking up your kids from school,
like that.
soccer mom or hot mom.
Soccer mom. I was also watching a lot of straight points, so that's what all the mothers were wearing at the
Oh
time.
yeah.
So I'm
Oh my
just
god,
like,
exactly. Like I keep wondering how people come out to say we are like a bad influence to their kids or we're trying to make their kids be like us when most of our lives we watch almost everything we watched on TV was about straight and straight. Like so
yeah,
how did that impact us? How did that want me to like someone else? It didn't make sense.
no,
So
it doesn't make
what
sense.
makes you think your child would want to be like me from just seeing me wear a skirt?
Totally. What if your kid wants to have a long blonde wig like I do or like you do? Let them
Right.
do it. Who's it hurting? Nobody.
Exactly. It doesn't affect you in any way. That's one thing I've noticed about some group of people. They always talk about things that don't affect them. And the things that affect them, they don't literally pay attention to it.
The things that affect them are stupid.
Right.
Like they're stupid problems. It's rich people problems.
Huh. Yeah, exactly. Because you wouldn't see a broke person going for that nonsense.
No.
But yeah, so when did you make your drag debut? What year was that?
Uh, my
And why did you go into
so
drag?
my first actual time in drag was in Vancouver, and I was kind of hanging out with Thanks Gem, a drag queen there, and she put me in drag, and we went to the Cobalt.
Okay.
I didn't perform, but I was just there with Gem, and Gem was this local celebrity in Vancouver.
Mm-hmm.
And then I moved back here, and I'd always wanted to do it, and I became really fast friends with Secretia Minorah.
Was Lucretia over there?
No, she was here.
Okay.
And I became really good friends with Goblin Dix.
Oh, I know them.
Goblin doesn't perform, but Secretia and Goblin started drag at the same time.
What
Uh,
year was this? Because I know Lucretia is like a drag
uh,
legend.
I don't know what year that was. I've known
Okay.
her probably 10 years now, so I'm going to say about 10 years ago. It might be a little more. But I was just like always talking about it, and then I'm just like, I did an audition. Rob was hosting a show at Evolution, and I submitted a number, and he said my number wasn't good enough. It wasn't poppy enough.
Ooh, he
So
can be shady.
I backed out
The
of it.
villain.
I backed out of that show, and I was really upset because it was happening on my birthday, and that's what was going to be my birthday surprise. I was
Oh.
getting all my friends to go, and a surprise, I was going to do the show at Evolution. So I backed out. My name was Honeydew,
Honeydew.
Honeysuckle.
Honeysuckle.
Honeysuckle was my original name. And then Secretia was just like, no, no, you're gonna be my daughter, you're Minorah. And then we were just like throwing things back and forth. And then she's like, Tickle Minorah, you're in this show. And it was her Minority Report one. I think that was her third or fourth show that she had done,
Okay.
hosted on her own. And then I did that one. I had to change my outfit last minute because my dress, the snap broke in the Uber, which is fine because the dress didn't fit me at all. It was very short and black and
And you were
fringe.
trying so
I
hard.
was trying so hard to make it work, but then I did Rihanna Consideration
Oh, nice.
as my first number. So I ended up just wearing like my regular white oversized boy t-shirt, thigh-high boots, and a bright red jacket with a
Okay.
long blonde wig.
Your signature.
My signature, always a blonde. Hey, I was pink at my last show. I did pink.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes,
Secretia let
yes.
me borrow her pink wig. I felt like
And
Nicki
you
Minaj.
called me, I don't know if it was you or someone who called me Gabii Minorah. And I'm like, it rhymes.
It could. It
Right. It
could.
could.
Yeah. Yeah, I did pink for that one, but normally I'm a blonde. And that was the start of it. Yeah. And then I think my next show, I reached out to Vanity, who was hosting a drag queen bingo at the time at 9910. So I reached out to her and the owner, Kyla, to see if I could perform at bingo. And they were like, yes, of course. So I did that show. And then, oh, I did Work This Pussy by Tiana Taylor because the album had just dropped like 2 weeks
Yeah.
before. And I fucked it up so bad. I was like trying to do like dance moves, and I kept hitting the
Roof.
stage. Yeah, I like cut my hand.
Really?
Yeah, it was terrible. It was terrible. And then I did. I don't know when, but I did God and I Gotta Go. Used to do like monthly shows where it was like
Oh.
a singer theme. So I did January, and it was JLo versus Jennifer's. And I did one of my best numbers to date. It was like 8.5 minutes, and it told a love story.
Is it on YouTube?
I don't know. I
Oh.
actually, there was nobody at that show. It was like minus 42 outside in the middle of January. I think there was 12 people in the audience.
That is valid.
But it was like literally a great performance. I told a love story with one of my numbers that was 8 minutes. And I felt bad initially going into it because I'm like, it's an 8 minute number.
Yeah.
But then like one of the queens, like their car broke down, so they couldn't make it like last minute. So the cast went from like I think five of us to like four of us. So I'm just like, they're like, it's fine. We have time to kill. I was like, I'm like, it
Right.
works in mysterious ways.
So how did you come about hosting your own show?
Yeah. So after the pandemic, I wanted to get back into it because I did one Zoom. I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah,
Zoom
show.
show or whatever. And I hated it. I hated it. It was a good performance. I did Mariah Carey MTV Cribs,
Oh
and I
no.
just changed the background, and I just had like my face imposed on her body, as I was like just
Oh.
talking about like the house and like lip syncing to it. It was hilarious. I thought so. And then
It was creative.
it was creative because I didn't want to. I can't dance like from here up. I'm not a dancing queen. So what am I gonna do? Just do what I always do? Just flare my arms for
Yeah.
like 10 minutes in front of a screen? Uh, yeah. So I did. I started going to drag shows again. Going out supporting the community. Was told I would be booked a lot. People were like, "Yeah, we'll get you in. We'll get you in," and then it just never happened. So I know again. I know Kyla who owns 9910. I talked to her and Clinton Reese, who were managing 9910 and like bookings. And I'm like, listen, I want my show. I want a show.
Right. If no one is booking me,
I want.
I'm starting my shit.
I'm just gonna do it. And I took Secretia over to the business meeting because I'm like, I need your help. I talked to
Right.
Sister Mary about like compensation for queens, how much we should be getting paid, things like that. Because I hadn't performed in like 2
Yes.
years, maybe three. I don't know. The pandemic was a while. So I went up there. I was like, this is what I want to do. This is my concept. Blah 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 blah. And they're like, sure. And I'm like, oh, okay. But like
Right.
the way they were making it sound in emails, it's like they're gonna pitch it to us. We want a business plan. All this. I was like panicking.
Honey, when you're trying to apply for all these things, you're like, I didn't know we needed to have like an artist resume.
Yeah,
When I was trying to apply for something, I'm like, artist resume, honey. What do I put
yeah.
here? What?
Yeah, so then they gave me my show, and I'm very grateful to them. Thank you, 9910. Thank you, Kyla. Thank you, Reese. Thank you, Clint.
Thank
You're still
you.
supporting me. Thank you, and more.
So how do you select your cast? Because lately, a lot of people have been doing a lot of things with this cast selection, and he blows my mind.
Okay.
Because like I know some people, they either book their friends, or people book people for their talent, or people book others just to make up like block out the noise and want a diverse team. How do you select your cast?
I select my cast by people that I like to see perform. That's all it is. If I've seen you perform and I liked it, I will book you. Maybe not this show, next show, but at
Yeah.
some point. And there's so many queens. The list that I have at home for like queens that I want to have, it's long.
And it looks like queens keep popping up every day. Sorry, not queens. Performers keep popping up every
Yeah,
day. You know,
but I
and
love that.
luckily, Gemma has like the monthly shows, because I doubt if they didn't have the monthly shows, like people would, most new people wouldn't be getting like booked,
No.
right? Because it looks like people who book the same set of people. So if you're booking the same set of people out of 100 queens, honey,
I mean, I do book some of the same people.
which is fair. Like, yes, you can have your people and just give us a different face, give
Yeah,
us a different thing, and make sure the people you're booking are giving us different things. Because
totally.
I wouldn't want to come hear you sing Do Re Mi today, tomorrow you come and sing the same thing, next tomorrow you come.
Yeah,
No, honey, give
yeah,
us something else.
yeah. So when I book, first of all, I book off like who I want to see perform and who I
Hmm.
like to watch perform. And then when I go through my cast, I'm just like, okay, I don't go in being like, okay, well, I need a king, I
A queen,
need, I need,
a disabled
yeah,
person, black
I don't go
person.
through like that. I'm just like, okay, how? It's all based on connections too
Yeah.
for me. It's like, oh, I get along with you really well, so I've had you in the show. I get along with God really well, so God comes in because God makes me laugh all the time with their performances because they're so good. Artesia. I could watch Artesia all day.
Atija is talented.
Giselle, I could watch all day. You know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah.
can watch these queens all day and not get sick of it. So that's how I book them. Like,
Because also when they come out on stage, they're doing different things. Like
yeah,
they
it's always
have a
new.
lot in their sleeves. They have to dish out to us.
Yes. Yeah. So it's like, that's how I book my cast. It's just who I like to see perform
Yeah,
and who I
because
know, like, I'll have a good show with. Even if I'm the most busted queen at my show. It's my show.
right, true. I mean, like that is why you need cast, because you can't do it yourself, right?
No,
And like,
no, because you
yeah,
know what you're gonna get with me. You're gonna
yeah,
get a little
wiggle,
a
wiggle.
wiggle wiggle, maybe a drop it low, a body roll. Then I'll bring out Artesia. who's gonna dance the
The
night away,
stunts, jump, leap like a
like everything, right?
right.
Like you, yeah. So I want a good show, like a well-rounded show with a little bit of everything, but I don't purposely go in being like, okay, well, I'm so different from Gabby
Right. I
that
need Gabii on my
I
show
need Gabby in my show.
to represent because honey, it doesn't make sense. Like I've seen people book performers. It's one thing to come out and say, "Oh, I'm looking for performers,"
Yeah,
but it's another thing when you already have performers that are literally okay to be a complete cast. You're still going out to look for more performers, honey. Come on.
yeah.
But yeah, I know you talked about your favorite performance was the 8 minute
Oh yeah, it was good.
performance you did, which we can testify to. So you have to do that again.
Talk to God and the Gotta Go.
Okay.
It was their show, and it was like the best. It was great. It literally. I went through JLo movies, JLo songs, and I told a love story from a crush to going into domestic abuse to coming out on
Oh my
top.
god.
I went through like everything I could find JLo, and I did it.
How did you meet God?
I don't know.
How did I meet God? I think I met God at your show
Yeah,
because at the time I've been hearing things about God and I'm like, who is this person?
yeah,
And then I saw them on your show. I was like, hi.
yeah.
And God is hilarious.
God is so
Really
funny.
hilarious.
God is so funny.
What would you say is your least favorite performance?
Maybe the first time I did Khalees Caught Out There. It was at Revival. I made the mix the night before. Music was already
You
due.
make mixes?
Oh, I got it made for me. But I was there, like working with whomever
Hmm.
until like 3 in the morning making this mix because I added in Tyra Banks for it.
I want to make a mix.
I don't know how to do that.
Okay, I'll just go to Ladonna.
I know how to download it from a YouTube to an IMP,
Okay.
MP3.
Yeah. I mean, we all do.
I know how to do that, and that's it. I don't know how to stop it and just like
It's
I
so
don't do
hard.
this.
Even sometimes I pay DJs to help me mix a song and they just ruin it for me. And I'm like,
Yeah,
I won't call names.
I ask God for a lot of my mixes now.
Oh, yeah, God, yeah.
Secretia's helped me with a couple mixes. One of my friend's brothers helped me with some mixes, the Khalees one. And it was just like, I didn't like that first performance. I was at Revival, I was hungover, I was drinking again. The pink, I bought like this beautiful pantsuit from Club Monaco. It was like pink blazer with pants, but the pants were size 12 and they were too big and they kept falling.
Ooh.
So I was like trying to like pin it to like my underwear and
It sounds
like
like a movie. Yeah.
it was terrible. I hated it. I hated that performance. Also, my wig was a little damaged because I did a water sport number before and it got wet. I was just like, no, I hate this.
Okay, then.
Yeah,
What's your thought about what's happening in the States with people say with drag bans and um, no reading of story time, no reading of books to kids because it's crazy.
it's so crazy. It's very disheartening to see. As far as I know, a drag queen reading a book to a child who's learning has not done any harm. Um, yeah, like it's a sad state that we're in this world, and I feel like we go through this every couple
Yeah.
years. It's always like every couple years they pick on the states specifically will pick on a minority group and target them for like the next 3 or 4 or 5 years, and then it just drops and they go into something new, and
No one is talking about gun violence. No one is talking
that's
about
where we really need to be talking
yeah. No one is talking about school shooters. No one is talking about
because they
like they're
make
focusing on the wrong thing. They're focusing. I don't want to say. I don't want to get political on my show. So yeah.
but it's like drag queens reading books to kids, us doing shows. Who is that hurting?
Exactly. Like what?
Am I
What?
making you gay by being a drag queen? Am I piquing your interest?
Like
That's yeah. Yeah.
Like, what difference would it make if a cop read a book to a child, and if a doctor read a book to a child, and if a drag queen read a book to a child?
What's
Because, honey, it's just wigs and makeup.
yeah. We're not hurting anybody. We're just out here expressing ourselves in this art form.
It's just hilarious that every comment section I go to, people are like, there was one I saw today. It was a man who had a gown and whatever, right? And someone commented, "Oh, yes, he's being himself. He's not trying to have titties. He's not
Yeah.
trying to have this." I'm like, what are you guys talking about?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make sense. Let people be like, so it's okay for a man to wear a dress, but it's not okay for me to become a woman if I want to become a
Yes.
woman.
Yeah. Like
You already seeing people talking about abortions. You can't have abortions. Like, when will people learn to mind their business?
yeah. Like if it doesn't concern you, don't pay no mind to it. Like just don't pay any mind. If it's not about like someone that you love or care about, obviously we're going to support them.
Yeah.
But if you don't know someone that's a drag queen or trans or having an abortion, whatever, it doesn't affect you. So let them live their life and just give them the support. At the end of the day, we just need to support each other.
Oh, you're killing lives. You're taking lives. What of school
Who?
shooters?
Yeah, school
Are
shooters.
they giving lives?
What was it? Which one? Which I don't quote me on this, but last week there was that mass school shooting, and they had to cancel the basketball game at the university.
Really?
Yeah, I forget which one. I want to say like
I think I
Delaware.
saw it on TikTok.
Yeah, there was
I
like
saw it
that
on
mass
TikTok.
school shooting, and they had to cancel this game. And like the school's like, well, we're gonna lose this much money because we're canceling the game for like advertisements. It's not on TV. All this. I'm like,
No, go play.
oh, go play, go
Right.
play. Like they did the right thing by canceling it, but
Yeah.
initially they didn't think they were going to. I'm just like, what? These kids were just traumatized, and you want them to go out and play
Come
so that you
on.
can get money from it being on TV for advertisements, for this, for that, for ticket sales.
That's why most times I try not to give it my all um to some certain things. Like, I remember while working at the bar, I always had at the back of my mind that if someone comes in and stop me right now, this bar is gonna move on to keep making money. I'll be the one in the hospital.
Exactly.
You
And
know?
they'll do a tribute for you. They'll do
Exactly.
a tribute night in
Exactly.
tribute of
That
Gabii.
is life. Like,
Yeah,
no matter what happens to you, they would always move
they'll
on. So
move
you
on.
have to put you first in everything you do, right? Like, if I was a player and they wanted us to play for that shit, honey, I'm running away.
Yeah, but then I bet you if they didn't play,
Yeah, they're fun.
they probably would have been like suspended or got a fine or there goes their like NBA dreams or NFL dreams, whatever sport it was. It might not have been basketball.
And that's the same thing that also affects athletes. Like, a lot, majority of them are literally like in the closet, and like,
Well, they have to be because it's such a straight male dominated
yeah, you can't do
platform.
femme or queer.
No, you can be
I
anything.
see, I know most of them, and I'm like, oh my god, he's out there deceiving a girl.
Yeah.
Like, that poor girl. But honey, don't worry, I'll be here for you whenever you need me. Oh my
Um,
god. We've come to almost the end of the show. What would you like to say? Or would you like to add anything?
Come to my next show.
When would that be?
It's November 9th at 9910. Doors are at 7. Tickets will be on sale soon. $10 in advance, 15 at the door. It's the fifth coming of Minorah.
See you
Five
there.
times a charm.
Right.
I'm trying to make it come 5 times in a night.
You
I
better.
can't. I can't even do that myself.
Honey.
But it's all sex
I
themed.
mean, it's moist already,
It's all
so.
sex themed. I'm
Right.
showing my bare ass for the first time on stage.
You better come and see the show. We have incredible cast on the
We
show.
do. Artesia, Giselle, God, Steak, Strawberry.
Yes.
Strawberry.
You better come on November 9th.
November 9th, 9910.
to them pop up. And where can we find you on Instagram?
Pat 2000. I am private though, so if I don't follow you back immediately or accept you, because I got some creepers that I have to
Block her,
go through and
right?
block.
And it's are you private?
Yeah, I'm private.
Yeah, it's really hard being private on Instagram because like you're a performer, right? Someone might tag you in a video and they can't like get through to you, which
Yeah,
is sometimes sick. And there are times I just go private, go public. At this point, I don't really care. You don't pay my bills, so honey.
I go public the week of my show and the week after my show, so I can get those videos.
Oh,
But then I go back to private because I get some creepers in there. I
okay.
get some creepers, so
Where can we find you on Facebook?
I don't really use Facebook.
Who uses
Oh my
Facebook?
god, I don't use Facebook.
But yeah, it's great having you on my show. It's been great having you on my show. I'll see you all in the next episode.
Bye.
Oh, cunt. The shit is not working. Any holiday tip.